issue is we have to clean up our own house. Like, I have a lot more standing to demand things from my government, which is my people, than I do to demand from another government where I don't have standing there. But if given the opportunity, I'd be more than happy to. And I say it all the time, like, if we all switch to electric cars in this country, that's not going to solve the problem. We need to get all these countries on the major ones. You're right. It's China, it's India.
But the U.S. needs to lead.
And we can't do that so long as the military-industrial complex is the number one polluter. And our imperialism knows no bounds.
And that is
banging the war drums again right now as we speak.
And that is why you guys are going to get a wonderful lesson from a fellow YouTuber and friend of the show, Jamal Thomas. He will be coming on Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. We're probably going to start at 8:30 p.m. because we do have an affair to go to.
An affair?
Oh, it is an affair, technically.
I did get us swag bags.
Yes.
It's all just donations to Mobile School Pantry.
My favorite nonprofit in Broward.
It's our local food. It's like a local food bank, not a bank, but it's really special, people. And she provides food to so many families in Broward. And it's just not just providing food, it's the manner in which it's done. It's really nice.
Yeah, Paul, Jamal actually, I think he took a hiatus for a considerable amount of time.
Well, then he was with Sputnik.
But he just came back on.
I love Jamal. He's one of the first people that I started regularly watching when I started watching like alternate media.
He's old school. I mean, he goes back as far as Kyle Kalinske does. Like, he's been around a long time. And he really knows his stuff. And again,
he's extremely smart about foreign stuff.
Like when it comes to the war in Ukraine, he really leans into how this has basically become in very short order a war for the profits of the military-industrial complex.
Shocking. It's amazing that it's like, I feel like it's Groundhog Day. It's Groundhog Day. It's weapons of mass destruction.
And you still see people that are looking at it thinking, oh, well, Putin's this and Zelensky's a hero. And it's like, it is not as simple as black and white. Something as simple as discussing how far NATO has expanded in Eastern Europe when, after the fall of the Soviet Union, it was told it would never move past East Germany. And today, it's literally at Russia's doorstep. It's not condoning anything that Putin has done, but having perspective on why things are where they are is very important. So we'll get that from Jamal, as well as how the military-industrial complex completely continues to pillage this planet. And
they will keep coming up with more and more wars. There will never not be a war. So we're just going to always be doing that. Chris, I see what you're talking about in there about the standing at Standing Rock. Yeah, no, it wasn't the natives, but it definitely is our place to speak on that. That's our country, what we're doing to our people. That's our stand. Like, we have standing to fight about that.
TM with a little humor, but yes, I know people think this is a joke, but trust me, there are people who actually think that there's a possibility that if we do not have some type of a rollback of sorts regarding what's happening right now in Ukraine, we could be heading for a nuclear situation. And that is, again, and that's why I really can't stand our current president, because I don't think he is anywhere near up to the task of this situation. And the fact that he, on national television in the press corps, admitted that they basically were going to do what was necessary to destroy Nord Stream 2, and they did within a 24 to 48 hour period after Biden said that. I mean, come on.
Well, it's almost like they're all in cahoots just to make profit, which
Correct.
Is what I always think anyway, but all roads lead to profit for the oligarchs. And I don't care whether my oligarchs speak Russian, Chinese, or English. It's irrelevant to me what language they speak. It's them versus us, and their language is not the issue. It's their class.
Thank you very much, Brenda. Really appreciate the support. I am not Catholic, but I am Irish, and I certainly appreciate your sentiments. That means a lot. TM, I know you're serious. And so are a lot of other people. I know people think this is a joke, but it's not.
No.
There are people really buying radiation pills because they're afraid. And you know what? I don't blame them. You know why? Because when you have a tyrant backed into a corner, you have to give him an off-ramp. I've been saying this from the very beginning. You have to give Putin a way out of this by being able to save face.
A little bit.
If you think that he is going to just take this line, that remember, they can wipe Ukraine off the face of this earth like that. The people who think, I'm not gonna say any nasty
Please don't.
words. I'm not gonna say
Please
nasty words,
don't.
but anyone out there who actually thinks that this is a real war of attrition, that if this was a real war with Russia versus Ukraine, are you kidding me?
Yeah, you're silly. You're being silly.
You want 1 million people dead because you want 2 million people dead because as far as our military industrial complex is concerned, the more the merrier. The more people dead, the more that the military can gain footholds in all parts of the world. 1,000 military bases?
I mean, well, we have over 800 that are like on record. That doesn't include like black ops sites and all that stuff. I mean, Bo definitely addresses this stuff better than I could, but we are the imperialist predators. We are. And it's like it's amazing to me how we could sit there and I am not saying Putin is not a bad guy. And I'm not saying that it's okay to invade another country because that's all kinds of wrong. But it just seems very pot and kettle to me. And that we have so much of our own house to clean up. And maybe if we did that, the ripple effect would be less of this. Like maybe the years and years of our like basically intruding at their border just finally took a toll. I don't think people realize it because our media doesn't cover it, but we always have warships up their ass.
And if you think, as bad as Putin is, believe me, there is no question that our shadow government, which is the CIA, had a hand in blowing up Nord Stream 2. Be thankful Putin isn't a full-blown psychopath because doing that is a declaration of war against Russia. That's what that is. Now, he hasn't declared war on us, but if he did, that is World War III because China will have to make a decision as to where they're going to land, and chances are they're going to land with their neighbors, not with us.
No, they own us. If they call all their debt due, we're all going to be working in Mandarin slave camps, which is why I honestly...
For those of you who didn't see...
Stop poking the bears.
Yeah, for those of you who didn't see Jay Paul's fantastic dual interview with Noam Chomsky and Daniel Ellsberg, talking about the biggest failure of Biden's presidency, which is his handling of Taiwan, and has been an absolute disaster.
Nobody's talking about that anymore.
Nobody wants to talk about it.
Well, they're distracting us with Ukraine.
Correct. So to me, that's, again, I don't have a lot of good to say and never will have a lot of good to say about Trump. But the one big difference between Trump and Biden, it seems to me, from my perspective, and you're all free to share your sentiments, but to me, Trump was less controllable by the MI6 than Joe Biden. And you're seeing that right now.
He fell in line ultimately with them. Like he went into office saying, we're going to get out of all these wars. We're going to get out of Syria. We're going to do all this stuff. And then he took office and somebody whispered in his ear, yeah, no, that's not how this works. And then he's like, okay, no, that's not how this works. All right, we're there for the oil. But at least he said we're there for the oil. I appreciated that candor.
Right after he got into the White House, he said, well, can't we just give everybody Medicare? Sorry, Mr. President, that's not how this works.
And then he said, oh, okay, we can't do that. So he eventually fell in line because everyone does except for Jack. And then he got dead. That's what happens to presidents that don't fall in line.
And for those of you out there who love Trump and think that, oh my God, he's this maverick and he's doing all this, that, and the other thing. Do you really think it's that big of a stretch to think that he may very well have been taken into a private room with the head of the CIA, showed him another angle of the Zapruder film and said, do you have any questions?
Seriously. Get in line, man.
We run the country and we run the world.
That's how it works.
That's how it works.
Thanks for watching. If you want to support our mission to transform politics into service, please like this video, subscribe, follow us on social media, and consider joining our Patreon, where you'll get early access to our interviews as well as other exclusive content. Links are in the description. Peace out.